San Diego.
Carmen, San Diego.
My niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn rats. All my niggas from the OOTA. All my niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn rats. All my niggas turn shooters. On the internet, you ain't been a threat. You been stuck in a computer. Show me the proof. All my niggas turn shooters. All my niggas from the OOTA.
We are back. We are back with another one. Listen, y'all. Bricc Baby, full paperwork read, y'all. Full paperwork read, tied to Big U and the Rollin 60's. Listen to me, y'all. Listen to me. And the Rollin 60's Crips court document breakdown. We're going to break it all down. Salute to everybody in the building. Appreciate everybody. You already know I'm OOTA. I'm on go. You on go. We all on go together. It's the only way to be on go. Not by yourself individually, man. You're not going to get far. Bring it in. You got to do it like this. So salute to everybody. You already know the vibes. Listen, we're getting into a full paperwork read of the Bricc Baby case. All right. And I'm not even going to waste time with a lot of talk. I just want everybody that joins this stream. Salute to everybody. I appreciate you all. Just drop a like as y'all join. And I'll just try to just read this paperwork out for y'all so that, you know what I mean? So that y'all can get this work and see exactly what's going on. So salute to everybody. Salute to everybody on your ways in. Okay. So it goes to show you this is page 7 with a memorandum and the memorandum of points and authorities, the introductions, right? So as you can see, this is just fluff. You know what I'm saying? That's just all this. Okay. All this fluff in the beginning, his nicknames, different things like that. That's what that's going into right there. See what I'm saying? So boom. So let's get past the fluff again. All right. And let's get right back to the page of where we need to be. I just wanted to be zoomed in exactly how kind of, you know what I mean? So y'all can see it correctly. All right, cool. I think y'all can see it cool. All right, let me just check on everything, make sure everything's good, make sure my sounds is good. Yeah. All right, cool. Just make sure that's good. All right, salute to everybody. Let's get right into it. All right, introduction. Defendant Zaire Mitchell, defendant, asked this court to be released pending trial, arguing that a secured property bond is sufficient to reasonably assure his appearance and the safety and the safety of any other person or the community. To the contrary, the defendant's criminal history shows a dedication to crime and recidivism, no matter what the consequences. Moreover, his conduct during the investigation in this case shows the same dedication to a life of crime and inability to comply with the rule of law. Now, see what I'm saying? Now, when you online also joking, think that you're playing a game, right? Because you might be doing content, but they're not going to take it as content. This is what I've been saying in all my last videos. They're not. Even when Big U did his 2 videos that he did before he went to court and before he turned himself in, they brought that into the press release. These people is thirsty. They not playing with you. They taking everything you saying and putting it in it. Oh, word, you ain't mean that. Whatever. Look, this is how these people work, man. Salute. I ain't even gonna fluff and talk too much to y'all. We got a lot. We just get to the read, and then I'll talk a little bit later, or we can talk next time, right? So boom. So it says to the rule of law, right? He doesn't comply with the rule of law. Now, the indictment first alleges that the defendant in at individuals, nutty sound effect, homie. Utens at individuals possessed ammunition expelled from a Magnetos on July 12th, 2022. Then on June 21st, my birthday, salute to that. Word. Nigga licked off a thing on my birthday, salute. That's my birthday. Listen, on June 21st, 2023, defendant was captured on an intercepted call arguing with his significant other, in which she repeatedly recounted that the defendant had pointed a magneto at her while she was holding his infant child. Execution of a search warrant at the defendant's home followed, and 3 magnetos, including an AK Demix style magnetos and over 125 rounds of ammunition were found. After law enforcement seized those weapons and arrested defendant and continued undeterred, after the arrest. In March 2024, defendant erupted at his place of employment, threatening bro, my goodness. What do you think his employment is? Oh my God. Yo, if y'all ain't drop a like yet, y'all wildin'. What do you think his employment is? It's no jumper, you know. This man ain't got no job. I'm from the streets, bro. I was selling drugs my whole damn life, damn near. I quit. But I'm saying, bro, we ain't got no jobs like that. Come on, man. We ain't talking about your summer youth program job either. Bro, look at this. This is nasty. He needs to get off these podcasts. He's wilding. Look. Gotta be, bro. Gotta be. Gotta be. They said, in March 2024, the defendant erupted at his place of employment, threatening individuals in the room online with unaliving threats, fighting security, and later admitted to possessing a magneto during that incident. Throughout 2024, defendant made calls online of unaliving people and threatening to do the same to others. Then on March 18, 2025, the day before his arrest, in this case, defendant went on a live video podcast with someone whom he previously threatened to unalive. During that podcast, sitting across from that person, defendant brandished a magneto in his waistband. Come on, we all listen to me, this is nasty, bro. In his waistband. When the defendant was arrested the following day, he was arrested right after that. I didn't know that. That's scary. You see how I started this video? Hold on, wait a minute, y'all. I love y'all. Make sure y'all all dropping a like. Y'all see how I dropped this video. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Because that's who you need to find all of the things with Bricc Baby cases, because his paperwork is sealed and you can't see if Bricc Baby's telling or not. So I'm like, what the hell? You need Carmen Sandiego. Or if you don't got Carmen Sandiego, you got to be at least the best, you know what I mean? Where's Waldo play in the history of Where's Waldo or something? You know what I mean? You got to be this guy. You have to be you probably found, if you found all of the sealed paperwork in Bricc Baby case show, salute to you, man. You know how to find Waldo, man. I'm gonna give you 2 seconds to find Waldo. You know you only need 2 seconds, man. Take it, bro. You found her? Oh, exactly. But you ain't find Bricc Baby paperwork, so stop. Relax. Good. But yo, look, this is craziness. So, bro, this is craziness, man. Sorry, man. Look, they said, look what they said. They said he was fireman is best friend in the West End. When defendant was arrested the following day, an unsecured magnetos with multiple magazines of live ammunition matching that seen in the defendant's waistband on the podcast were found where defendant was staying with his young child. Oh my God, bro. And he's saying, oh my goodness. And they want to throw out these weapons cases. Come on, bro. If he went to court, Bricc Baby, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Where in the world is your paper? Where in the world is Waldo, bro? Either one, Bricc Baby, if you ever get freed, that's my only question, tell me. Where in the world is Sandiego? Because you must know. You was locked up where? Like you in LA, nigga, you probably know about Sandiego. You was just in Dago around the time of the supposed lick that you caught. Looking like you're going on a shopping spree. I played that video. What do you think? I'm kind of get you think? No, nigga. I'm not a Fed, nigga. No, nigga. Them niggas been doing that and they got that already. Obviously, nigga. You're dumb. You don't think if you caught the licks and the bang bang that they got in the paperwork, you don't think they're going to go around time of your social medias and see what the hell happened at the time? Well, I did the same thing. Why are you even online doing anything, talking about any goddamn thing around the time you do anything? Have y'all not seen Goodfellas? Have you not seen Goodfellas movie? Remember when they did the Lufthansa heist? Bro, Robert De Niro told them, he said, look at me, do not buy nothing. Do not spend no money. It's flashy. Do not do the flash. What he did, what they started doing, buying things, buying this. The two guys, remember the guy and the woman, his couple, it's her birthday. Talking to Robert De Niro, it's her birthday. He's like, all right, it's her birthday. Look, they was both slumped in that car, in the pink caddy. Remember? Exactly. Do not go around on shopping sprees after you do alleged licks in certain crimes, bro. Because if people start to snitching and then they go right here and they go like, 1 and 1 make 3. And now you getting a 10 to 3. 1 to 3. You know what I'm saying? You got to chill, son. Listen. Matching the defendant's waist, man. Oh my goodness, man. All the above conduct. I'm just going to read straight, man. It's just really triggering as I'm reading this because they still online. It's just triggering, bro. I just want to speak every second, but I'm not. I swear to God. Listen, let me just see who's still with me. Oh my God. I salute to everybody. Make sure y'all all drop a like. I swear, y'all. But this is triggering to me, bro. If this ain't triggering to you, son, as you reading this with me, bro, the man is wild. How's he still? He bugging live from the feds. Look, yo, listen, man, you know what I mean? Yo, these people want the crown and the title. What you mean the crown and the title, bro? You got hit with a Title III, wire interceptions. Bro, yo, I'm done. I'm not gonna say no more. I love y'all. I'm sorry. Yo, shit is crazy, bro. I don't understand. Anyway, all of the above conduct occurred after years of violent crimes, magneto possessions, evading of charges, and troubling. Who getting bail? Who's getting bail, bro? Bruh, you know when they want to remand you, bro. Yo, hopefully the brother get bail, bro. Hopefully today he get bail, bro. But with all of this, how they pushing? Jesus, Lord, it's going to be a fight, bro. It's going to be a fight. And troubling conduct disseminated throughout the internet. Defendants' lengthy periods of incarceration and supervision have not deterred him from continuing to commit dangerous crimes. There is no reason to believe this arrest will be any different. And the safety, this is where they get you. The safety of the public demands that the defendant remain detained, bro. Trust me, this is what they on with him when he go to that hearing. They might give you the hearing just to hear what you're talking about. But the DA and the prosecutor, all of them is in their ear. The U.S. government, bro. The U.S. attorney, bro. It's like, yo, look. And you talking about? Bro. This is you versus the biggest gang of all gangs, bro. If you ever was in a gang and you in a gang, bro, this is you versus the biggest gang, bro. This is the U.S. versus you, bro. Straight. Just because you see Henley at the top, don't matter. Everybody that falls under subsidiary is U.S. versus them too. Straight. It's just he the big dog. That's all it is. Nasty. Anyway, statement of facts now. Defendant is intercepted discussing criminal activity, including pointing a magneto at his partner and child. Jesus Christ. Boy, man, Bricc, man, you wildin', bro. In the first several months of 2023, the defendant was intercepted on multiple court-authorized Title III wiretaps. Crazy. Both on his phone and his associates' phones. He was already bugged up, son. On multiple calls, defendant discussed criminal activity. Throughout March 2023, defendant discussed how the mother of one of his children accused him of pointing a weapon at her, and the defendant claimed it was a lie. But on June 20, 2023, a second person accused the defendant of the same conduct. That day, the defendant's significant other, KC, stated, "You pulled a magneto on me with your daughter. You pulled a magneto out on me in front of your effing daughter. You pointed a magneto at me with your BA." Defendant responded, "I don't give a F, and I don't give a F, B, ever since I've been with you." Crazy how they worded that in here. Wow. And that's what they said. That's the Title III warrant. That's how the conversation went. So you got to be careful. This is how you talking on the phone. You might be talking with your shorty. She not meaning to jam you up probably to this degree. But you never know, bro. You got to keep conversations offline. Don't text nobody you love, bro. You know what I mean? Because words don't even do justice anyway when you texting. So a person could take one word out of your whole sentence and think, "Oh, you on some bullshit," and take you to be on some bullshit, but you're not. So it's better to just get in person and say something to somebody, bro, for real. Especially if you're talking about real stuff like this. This is how you get caught up. You said you sit in the house all day. Listen, said the following day, the defendant argued with Casey about her picking up her daughter, ordering her to take the effing baby outside, you stupid B. You sit in the house all day, you dumb a hoe. Crazy. Casey told the defendant she could not walk or drive because the defendant effed up her leg and that he was the one who hit on people. Defendant responded, "Man, on 6-0. Crazy." And then they're going to tell you what 6-0 means. It's correct. "Shuts the F up, B. I just told you, and you keep playing with her, and you just want to see an end." Probably caught up. Defendant told Casey to leave and said that they were done. On the same day, KC again stated, "It's so effed up that you can't even apologize for the ish you do. You've never apologized for treating me bad, pulling out a magneto on me like this, like you think it's cool for you. But you want me to go do ish for you. You talking about you don't want me. Ish you going to do. But you're gonna pull out a magneto on me and Your child though? Right. Defendant responded on 6-0. Yeah, you don't get. I don't give a F, B. I don't give a F. I don't on XO. Nips. Nigga. Come on, bro. Who getting bail with this? Bro, this to your shorties, to your kids here. You see what they doing? This is why you cannot be online talking about nothing, especially acting like you talking about no confrontations from anybody outside. You don't post a kid with nobody's talking aside in the real world that's talking about you, telling anything about you right now, bro. Because everything that you're going to be saying, not what anybody else going to say out here, us or nobody. What you're going to be saying is going to be used in court of law. Some people's got loud voices out here screaming. Their voice on YouTube going to be in this paperwork too. I ain't trying to be in it. Tell you the truth, nigga. In a minute, I might fall back from this whole shit. Straight. I'm not trying to be in nobody case, nigga. I don't like have codes for myself, nigga. So I don't want to be in nobody case. Tell you the truth. Anyway, but look, he said on 6-0, boom. Look, B, firearm, jeez, magnetos and ammunition are recovered at the defendant's home. Following the above mentioned calls, law enforcement obtained search warrants. Nuts, quick like this. For the defendant's home, car, and person. Inside his home, law enforcement found 3 magnetos and ammunition listed in count 2 of the indictment. A .380 caliber magneto and a 9mm caliber magneto and a caliber assault rifle style magneto and over 125 rounds of ammunition. Defendant tried to drop some of the firearm and ammunition from his balcony into the courtyard of his wow. So they say the 6-0 is the reference to the defendant's self. Listen to me though, y'all. They make sure they go in when they're talking about Bricc Baby, they make sure they stress the fact that he's a self-proclaimed neighborhood. He's not really neighborhood 60. It's crazy. So it's 60. He was there arguing with LUCE, like LUCE neighborhood 60, and I don't know. But this paperwork is saying that he is self-proclaimed neighborhood. Self-proclaimed. They know all the Crips. The other people that's Crip, they ain't saying they self-proclaimed Crips. They're saying they're Crips. They're neighborhood Crips. Big U's a Crip. He's a neighborhood Crip. A couple of other people's Crips. Straight. They're not saying they're self-proclaimed. Why do they keep mentioning that when they talk about Bricc Baby? In the other paperwork, they say the same thing. In the same the indictment paperwork, same thing. They say it. Why? Why they keep calling him self-proclaimed Crip? Just think about that. Right? So boom, where we at? We right here. All right, cool. So they said they said, Jesus Christ. Look, they said he dropped it. They said he dropped it off his balcony, right? He dropped the work off the balcony into the courtyard of his apartment. Hold up. What the hell is going on, bro? This is crazy, bro. Nigga dropped. I wonder what he dropped off. That big ass K out the window onto the balcony. What? You bet to have dropped that on some bushes, home skillet. You bet to have dropped that on some on some bushes, bro. Let me make sure. After long time, the rest of the event to continue undeterred. No, I had that right. Hold up. That's crazy, bro. Hold up. Accused and pointing the magnetos, right? Claimed it was a lie. I got that. From the balcony of his, yeah, bro. Listen to me. Look, from the balcony of his apartment complex, just as he previously stated that he would on an intercepted call. Defendant is recorded on intercepted calls making other admissions. Lord Jesus, you don't want them to hit. Let me stop. Throughout the remaining period of the wiretaps, defendant made countless assertions or threats pertaining to violent conduct and weapons possessions. For example, on February 20th, 2023, the defendant stated that he did not respect the elders in the gang and would pop anyone on 6-0. Wow, he was. So my man was on a plan. He was wilding, but why he ain't gonna say that to that man? You saying all of this, you will pop anyone. Yo, bruh, don't be doing that, bro. I ain't jacking that, y'all. I ain't jacking that. You know why I'm not jacking that? That's why I ain't jacking it. Because on 6-0, I ain't jacking it. On the hood, I'm not jacking it. Because when Big U shook him down, he ain't had nothing like that to say about Big U. Because when you in Big U face and Big U's in this type of back, allegedly Big U, you got to chill. You in the building, got to laugh, Big U. Just run a laugh. When you in the building with Big U, they don't call him Big U. This is what I heard from a Crip neighborhood on the hood. So if you neighborhood Crip, just let me know if I'm wrong. Because he said he's neighborhood Crip. That told me the story. He said, listen, I'm neighborhood Crip. And we don't call Big U no Big U in prison. They don't call him no Draws. They don't call him no Hannibal. They don't call him no anybody Clipper. No, none of that. None of that. Dave Austin, they don't call him none of that. He said what they call him in there? Sound effect. They call him Big Yusufa. You know how you got Lucifer? You just take the L off. Big Yusufa, bro. Big on the hood. That's what a neighbor. He said he neighborhood. I don't know. So if he neighborhood, said, nah, I did heard they call him Big Yusufa when he behind the walls in prison. Because he ain't no joke behind the walls. So that's why I was scared for Bricc Baby and Loose Cannon, just to make sure, like, damn. You know what I mean? I don't want them to run into Big Yusufa. That nigga be on some dangerous. Allegedly, Big Yusi. Yusufa. UC, you know, see, UC. That's the nickname. Call him Big UC. UC, and all that. I'm telling you, UC, because you're gonna see. You call him Big UC, Big UC for your bro. I ain't. Remember I told you I ain't gonna say nothing else. I'm done. Y'all ain't gonna call me a liar. Whatever. But anyway, boom. So now, on March 6, 2023, the defendant was on the phone with his mother. The proposed, oh my God, and found the mother of his child outside of his house. He told his mother that the mother of his child was in gangland and wanted to expire early. Defendant asked the mother of his child if she wanted to be unalived in front of her son on 6-0 as defendant's mother screamed at him to stop because he may be being recorded. On March 6, 2023, defendant told KC that the police were acting stupid, that he was tired of doing what they told him to, and that he was ready to oot at the mother of his child. I ain't know what Bricc was caught into in the paperwork, because I'm like, all right, cool. They just got him for the lick, supposedly, but Big U basically threw him in the works. You know, he's on the Title III anyway. They got him bugged, and his associates is already bugged. So you obviously know he's bugged as well. That's why I was making that fact that when Dale Morrison is talking with SBTV or anybody, your phone could possibly be bugged. And I think you should change your phones. You know what I mean? I'm not against nobody that's this color, bro. I might make my videos out of passion. That's all it is. But trust me, I don't go on no hate trains on nobody. Make my 1-2 videos. I'm done. Look, bro. Telling you, your phone will be bugged. If a person, and he's an active informant in this case, he still has to speak. This guy, he still has to speak. Why am I talking with this guy? Everything he says is probably going to be in the trial. Obviously, if they brought Big U little video he did into the press release, like, come on, bro. He's an active rat. If he explains something or says anything that he hasn't, if I get him, like, if I'm on his, if he's on my channel, I say, yo, expose something, and he tells me something that's really not in the paperwork right there. What do you think they're going to do with that? You think they're going to leave it on YouTube? Oh, okay, that's it? No, man. They're going to take that and say, look, and the victim also on a podcast, they're going to do it just like we read it in this paperwork. The victim was on a podcast talking with me or whoever, and this is what the hell had happened. And then this is how me or whoever or you or whoever going to end up in this paperwork. The trial paperwork, not this part, the trial. Yeah, bro, they could call you and subpoena you to court, bro. Some people want to make it to court probably. I don't know why. Don't know why, bro. That shit do not come with nothing good, bro. Never did, never will, bro. You don't want views being in nobody court case, being nobody court, bro. It's not cool, son. Trust me. I mean, so boom. So on 6-0, nuts. March 28, 2023, the defendant said that he would body slam the mother of his child on her neck to stop playing with him. In the same call, defendant discussed how it felt to unalive someone and have to go to school and play basketball the next day. Jesus, Lord. Defendant continues to threaten. Look, they got pictures. Crazy. Defendant continues to threaten violence and carry magnetos. In addition to the intercepted calls online, defendant continued to threaten, bro. He been doing this online. Continued to threaten violence, carry magnetos, and discuss both. And discuss it. Crazy. In March 2024, defendant crashed out at his place of employment, threatening to oot people and eventually fighting a security guard. Defendant later admitted in a separate interviews that he had a magneto on him during the altercation and that he brought his daughter with him to the studio. So now it shows the violence. It shows that you got your daughter around us. Even if your daughter's here, you done brought your daughter with you to the studio. You still can't have no proof, no nothing to say, yo, bro, you ain't got no self-control to stop this. Then it shows that when you admitting all these things, all right, they got you later admitting. They got you when they got you admitting all these things, it's not good. Okay. Not good at all. But look, you're getting caught up in this because why? You really have a problem with DW Flame at the time. And you're trying to prove some point to DW Flame. Because, you know what I mean, he said the NA, I ain't going to say the slang or the slur, but I'm just saying he said what he said with the NA business. And you know what I mean? So you trying to prove a point to the world and DW Flame, really, which we don't matter. You proving a point to us for, right? We just making videos. We the viewer or some shit. It don't matter. You proving a point to us and DW. But look, as you proving that point, I had my thing on me anyway. I was up there, memo after it, because they said he got draped up in the altercation. They said that DW Flame brother or something draped him up, right? Put hands on him and had him like this off his feet. This is what someone said. This is what they were saying around line. Y'all know the truth of what happened. You know, they said they had him on his feet like this, off his feet. And he was like, what? Nobody could have did that. And that's when his man, Barry Gordy, came up to speak, right? And was like, nah, man, I would never watch nobody do that to him. Me and whoever would have had to get down, period. Remember Barry Gordy came up, his Barry Gordy, whatever his name is. Remember he came up to speak and said that on No Jumper or wherever he was. Exactly. So this is where Bricc Baby went after that, talking about, nah, I have my thing on me. No, I have my things on me. Bro, you trying to prove a point to who? Who? It's not no real smoke with you and DW Flame for real. So you proving a point to him for. Keep it real with DW and just say what the truth is. He was in denial with that whole DW Flame situation. He was insecure because he was in denial. He was in the wrong in that DW shit. Yeah, DW said the wrong thing, but I don't think he said it purposefully. You know what I'm saying? But then DW was still respectful and just kept it solid. But Bricc Baby kept doing weird stuff that whole time. Like, you know what I mean? He got caught on a recorded call, not even intercepted, a recorded call from somebody. I think Sporty or something, right? Sporty or one of them caught him on a call or something. Come on, bro. It's too much, man. All of your shit end up in the paperwork. Look, they got the pictures. Come on, bro. This is nasty work, bro. This is nasty. Y'all drop a like, yo. Not because we like this. Just drop a like because we want the messages out and I'm doing a full read. This is crazy. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. And you bought your daughter, so you know what they're trying to do. You know what they're trying to do, bro. You are a threat to the community and the public, bro. You know what I mean? I wish, bro, niggas get bail. I wish all of them get bail, bro. Straight. I'm not even capping to you, bro. If you ain't in jail for no weird-ass crimes, no some weird shit, bro, free up, son. You in for some street shit. I get it. A lot of these people's caught it for street shit, but they caught it for being stupid as well, but being caught on podcasts and saying too much. You know what I mean? That's what it is, bro. Just being on podcasts and saying so much and doing it for the views. And yeah, you getting views. Yeah, you getting a bag from Adam or whoever. But are you really getting a bag? No, you're getting yourself bagged in the process of getting this bag you think you getting, homie. Straight. Every dollar is not a good dollar. My grandmother said it. I know your grandmother told you. Your mom's probably told you. Somebody told you, bro. Straight. God bless them if you still got them. Your grandma's, your mom's grandfather, whoever. Your pops, whoever was telling you this. You heard? But, yo, every dollar ain't a good dollar, man. And every view ain't a good view, my nigga. Because look at this, bro. It's nasty, bro. It's nasty, bro. Tell you the truth, man. Look. Now, in June 2024, the defendant argued over a phone with an individual. He claimed he had clipped more people than the other had fought. Defendant stated that he swore it to be true on his 4 babies. Jesus Lord, which he repeated many times, like, on my babies, on my kids, on my, I'm saying, crazy. In later attempted to downplay this claim, defendant stated that even if he had one duppy, that would be more than the other person had fights. See what I mean? So then I remember that he tried to do that too. Look how they break you down, bro. They watching you, bro. So don't tell me that these people ain't never going to speak to Adam. Don't ever tell me that these people ain't been speaking to Adam. These people got in current cases, they don't really have to speak to Adam, you know. They don't. But at the end of the day, Adam becomes complicit in some way. even though you're the owner and all that, you watching all this illicit activity, people having weapons at your studio and all this shit. You don't think they really want to have a conversation with you about some shit, bro? It ain't just about the no jumper fight, bro. I'm just talking about activity up there. Active gang members, all kinds of shit going on, nigga. Niggas, they watching people come up to the building. Spody and niggas came up to the building one day. So they watching people come up to the building like, yo, cuz, come outside, cuz. Come outside, cuz. Let me holler at you, cuz. Let me holler at you, cuz. They seeing all these types of things, bro. They're watching energy. They sit back and watch it all happen and play out, though, because that's how they do. The big boys, that's how they do. They sit back and watch it play out. Unalivens and all that. They sit back like this. Keep it real. But think about this. Why not? Why not? Why not bug no jumper? If you bug no jumper, you get all the conversations. Think about that. You got all of them up there. Crips up there, WACK up there, Bricc up there, LUCE up there. They all up there. No matter where they are, you don't have to bug individually places when you could just bug one place that they all are. What sense does that not make? Why would you go around bugging everybody if you could bug one location that they all at? If I got the hangout spot, I'm just going to bug the hangout spot. Makes sense. Makes sense. Use your head for a second. Why would they not bug no jumper? Why not? Why? Because they like Adam and they love him? Why? Because he's white? No, man. There's many people on the force. Ain't just white people. Ain't back in the days. This ain't Roosevelt, whatever the fuck time it is. Nah, nigga, this ain't that. Eisenhower, whatever. Ain't them. All kind of people on the force, nigga. We on the force too. Hopefully, stay away from me. But I'm just saying. Them niggas is on the force too. You know what I mean? Shit's crazy. But yo, it's nasty work. It's nasty work. Look, he said that, oh my God, he said, listen to me, in the same individual whom defendant previously threatened. Okay, who else he talked to but LUCE? And LUCE is hot. So they both hot. So they yo, who else he be talking to but LUCE Cannon? Besides WACK 100, and they both hot. I'm just saying, LUCE Cannon's in this paperwork as well as WACK, but LUCE is implement. I mean, he's indicted in this case. So they got you and LUCE having conversations, and LUCE is telling you, nah, man, wasn't he blackmailing you? He was blackmailing you, cuz. Yeah, on the hood, man. He was blackmailing you, cuz. He like, nah, he wasn't. Nah, he wasn't, bro. And then they got in the paperwork looking like you was being shaken down. Come on, bro. That's nasty, bro. That's nasty, bro. That's nasty, bro. Nah, this is nasty. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I gotta come shout out to all my people, because this is nasty, bro. Because where in the world is Carmen San Diego? Where in the world is Bricc Baby Papers? Yo, bro, because you can't find certain things when it comes to Bricc. I'm telling you, bro. Nah, I'm telling you. Nah, I gotta run through this for y'all. Live from the main line. I know, bro. Nah, son. Damn, bro. Yo, son. We're gonna get back to the read. I gotta shout out my people in the chat first, bro. I swear, yo, Compton Bricc Rock in the building with us too. Wizard of Clout, yo, nah, bigger than hip hop. Everybody, see Rollin in the building, yo, son. That's crazy. That's crazy. Lord Christ, nah, we gotta get back to this read. Nah, look, yo, this nigga Bricc is wild, son. Nah, I'm gonna bring it up like this. Nah, this nigga Bricc is wild, son. Bricc is a wild boy. Look. He said, crazy. The same individual whom defendant previously threatened and claimed to have more skulls than he had squabbles. Crazy. Joined the same podcast. During the filming, defendant showed that he had the magnetos in his waistband, homie. Look, bruh, what's wrong with him? And we all seen the clip because we watch YouTube. Why? Yo, son, you ever seen this shit? Why? Why? Tell me this human nature. Why? Why? This is why Mike wrote that song. Why? Why? It's like, bro, this ain't human nature, though, bro. This is the opposite of why Mike wrote it, though. Because Mike wrote it for some human nature. This is some stupid nature, bro. Tell me any stupid nature. Why? Why? Did Bricc do it this way? Damn, so my nigga Mike rolling over doing a moonwalk in his grave. Shout out to Mike. Doing a moonwalk in the graves. R.P. Mikael Jackson. Do that. Never forget my man Mikael Jackson. Nobody ever did it like Mike. Don't ever get it twisted, bro. Mike was the greatest that ever did it. Yo, bro. Yo, this nigga said he'll pop anybody on the hood, on the neighborhood. But he ain't tell Big U that to his face. Nah, he ain't tell Big U that shit. Biggie 6'5" and was doing kung fu since he was like 5 years old, and he was 6'5" since he was 5. So I don't know if you want to do that. And I told you in the building when Big U, I heard this from a neighborhood. Better yet, it's a neighborhood in the building. Compton Rick Rock in the building with me. Hold up, neighborhood in the building. Hold up, listen to me, Compton. All I know is this, Compton. I love you, brother. Listen to me, straight, Compton. Listen, Compton. Listen. I don't know. Listen, because I know you from, you know what I mean? I ain't got to say nobody. I know people be young. I don't know what's going on too much, but I know you know certain things you know. I heard from a crib, supposedly neighborhood, supposedly, he said, when Big U behind the walls, you heard? They don't call him no Draws. They don't call him no Hannibal. They don't call him no Dave Austin. They don't call him no anybody Clipper. They don't call him none of that. Remember WACK? Draws. Yo, Eugene Henley, I see you. He got the blowout. Draws. Nope, they don't call him that. I heard they call him. I heard they call him Big Yusufa. Heard they dropped the L off the shit and just call him Big Yusufa. Or they call him Big UC because you don't want to see him and he Big U with the C. And he UC, it just all made sense. It just all makes sense. That's all I heard, bro. That's all I heard. But yo, we gonna get back to the read. But I just heard they don't want no problem with Big Yusufa. Straight. Yusufa. Straight. Don't put the L on the shit. You might, you know what I mean, allegedly might put some feet on your little kung fu kick. That's a big dude to be hitting you with a kung fu kick. I'm telling you the truth. Nigga 6'5". That's a horse kick. Straight. Look, Magneto in his waistband. Who is getting bail, bro? And I don't pray for nobody to stay in jail, son. Get out of here, nigga. I done been kept in jail. You done been kept in jail for some light shit, bro. They're like, nah, remand. You're like, what? It wasn't even me. Yo, they done remanded you and kept you in jail for something that probably you never did, bro. Trust me. Less than this, bro. Less. Way less, bro. Come on, bro. Come on. And you know you were supposed to get a bail. You talking to your shorty, your baby moms on like, look, they're going to give me bail. I'm out of here. You know what I mean? I ain't me. That's one of the homies. Bro, look. Defendant is charged with repeatedly possessing magnetos and ammunition despite the numerous felony convictions. So when he comes out, do you think that he's not going to possess one again? That's what they're going to say. Simple. It's crazy. They said the defendant is now charged with multiple counts of possessing magnetos and ammunition, all in violation of 18 USC 922G. First charge stems from the defendant who in 3 bullets in a business parking lot in July 2022 to ward off would-be robbers. Okay, so he bust off some shit. That one had to be. The second charge involves all the weapons and ammunition found at his home. So that's the one that's really jamming him. Both of these charges followed 5 felony convictions from 2010, 2012, 2004. Look, they show the history that every 2 years or so, he get booked. So look, this one, he just did 4 years before he got booked with this. But they're just showing you a pattern. And then being June 23, he doing this. So he's on pace to be two. Look, he 2022, 2 years to 3 years later, he's already on pace to be doing what he's been following up with his criminal history. Every 2 years on this paper right here, or so, this is the longest he been chilling, was from 2016 to 2020, which he could say, look, man, I got my kid, and this is why I've been chilling, probably. You know what I mean? There's many things he could probably say. Respectively, while the pretrial services report include a longer criminal history without of state convictions, the morning of the defendant's instant arrest, he had an unsecured magneto and ammunition in reach of his young child. Yeah, I'm gonna read this work again, yo, one time straight because yo, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. But you gotta have your thing, though. It's crazy because I mean you caught up in a lose-lose, bro. Like you gotta have your thing, yo. You got your, you know what I mean, your youth, bro. You ain't trying to make nobody come play with your youth and play with nothing, bro. You gotta be ready and ready. So you know what I mean. You don't want the, I mean, shit, nasty, bro. And on March 19, 2025, law enforcement arrested defendant on felony in possessions charges in the indictment at his residence in Gardena with a significant other and a young child. The agent found a Glock 17-round Glock magazine and 16 rounds of 9mm ammunition as well as another magazine and 16 rounds of 9mm ammunition. The defendant kept all that unsecured despite residing with his significant other and a child he had already. Threatened with a firearm before, despite being arrested with all the firearms and ammunition at the residence on June 2023, despite his many felony convictions prohibiting from possessing of firearms or ammunition, and despite California Penal Code prohibiting possession of large capacity magazines, those holding more than 10 rounds. Defendant's criminal history is full of violence and supervision violations. As shown in the pretrial service report and the indictment itself, defendant's multiple magneto and ammunition possessions charges in this case are far from the defendant's first crimes. In 2006, narcotics and obstruction of law enforcement, almost 20 years ago, defendant earned his first felony from a narcotics distribution conviction, while he was also charged with willful obstruction of law enforcement officers by use of threats or violence. He was sentenced to 10 years probation and given a second chance with community servants and schooling conditions. 2010, reckless evading, involving assault with a deadly weapon. In 2010, defendant's criminal charges escalated with the charge for assault with a deadly weapon with the great bodily injury likely and a conviction for invading a peace officer with disregard for safety. Defendant was sentenced to 365 days in jail and 3 years probation, a violation of which resulted in 2 years of confinement. And according to the certified conviction records, the police reports for the original crime, police saw a SEX worker enter defendant's car, and the defendants then sped off upon seeing the police. Damn, nigga had a SEX worker in there. Nasty work.
Oh, no, you can't be serious. That is some bullshit right there.
Bruh, they said they seen the man get in a car with a floozy, y'all. With a floozy, y'all. Y'all getting the thing. With a floozy. And then he hit the buttons, bro. Then he hit the Michael Knight. You know Michael Knight? And Kid? Yeah. Nigga hit the yeah. He hit him with a little Chris Paul in the lane like that. In the car, bro. When a Euro step in the lane. Bruh. They said the nigga jumped in the V with an ex-worker, bro. Defendant sped off seeing the police. Defendant led the police on a high-speed chase with the cheeks, not with the cheeks, homie. Where he went back on Fig? No, I know he wasn't back on Fig. Yo, bruh. Bricc, you went back on Fig, bro? So why you ain't on the podcast with them brothers? Yo, Bricc, you went back on Fig? Nah, this nigga went back on Fig, bro. They said this nigga picked up an SEX worker. This nigga went back to Fig, bro. It's crazy, bro. Let him on a high-speed chase, running through stop signs and light. About to get 5 years for the panini, for the paninis, bro. You know panini, the press? For the panini. I don't want to say the word. Tammy, he about to get pressed for the panini. What is he doing? Not for the panini, bro. Just wait. Leave the panini. Go get a regular sandwich. You know what I mean? You don't need a panini, bro. Just leave the panini. Yeah, this nigga went for the panini. At some point, the defendant pushed the female out the moving vehicle. Bricc is a wild boy. The victim landed on her face, God bless her. And the defendant ran over her thigh with his V. Oh, this nigga Bricc is wild. Nah, Bricc, I gotta get it to you, Bricc. You're a wild boy. You're a wild boy when you're ready. Yeah, they be acting like Bricc a chump. Nah, Bricc. I ain't never said he was a chump, though. I heard about his 1-2 jail squabbles. I never heard about squabbles in the streets, but I heard about 1-2 jail squabbles. But yo, this nigga going King. Yo, bro, on King David. Yo, bro. Listen, and the defendant ran over her thigh with his car. The victim later stated that she asked to be let out multiple times, and the defendant refused. And until he later threw her out, the victim also stated that the defendant said he had something he needed to get rid of during the chase and threw a weapon out the magneto out the window, homie. In 2012 to 2014, narcotic convictions, Lord. Upon his release in 2012, defendant was arrested for transportation of controlled substances and ultimately sentenced to 365 days in jail and 3 years probation. That probation was later revoked after the defendant admitted to violating it 5 months after that arrest. But before that sentence, he was arrested for the same crime in Nevada and ultimately sentenced to 4 years of probation. In 2013, he was arrested for and by 2014 convicted of possession of a controlled substance. Defendant later received the misdemeanor relief for that conviction, but he thereafter violated his probation again. I don't know, bro. I don't know how this sound like he getting some kind of bail, bro. You know what I mean? I'm not a hater, bro. Not a hater. I wish for them niggas get freed up. Everybody that's in the case, bro, free up. But it's just hard to do that, bro. With this, you know what I mean? It's just really, really hard to make the case to do that. But look, right, boom. So they said 2016, right? I read this? No. No, I didn't even read this yet. Nuts. Look. On August 2nd, 2016, the defendant was convicted of a criminal threats and sentenced to 2 years in state prison, although he was given yet another opportunity with the suspension of the execution of a sentence and 3 years formal probation. He violated that probation multiple times, even receiving a no bail bench warrant for his failure to appear for a violation hearing. Now that right there, not that time. That's when you say, yeah, congratulations. You played yourself, because regardless of the weapons and all that is real. But if you go in and always turn yourself in all the time, they be like, bro, your lawyer being there, listen, man, no matter what my client has ever been charged with, he never been running for no one. If he ever found out he had a warrant, he was in the next day. He turned himself in. If you one of them types of people, some people, I'll be on the gingerbread. Catch me like this, like how Big you said when WACK 100 seen him. This is how Big you said WACK 100 seen him. When he seen WACK 100, he said, it was 15 to 20 of us with their hoodies tied down. And I was in all black with my hoodie tied down. This the only way I think a hoodie could be tied down. Okay, cool. So that's how Big Yusufa. Allegedly, Big you got to crack a joke when you're in the building. Chill. Don't send them niggas at my head, Big Yusufa. Don't send them people at my head. You sound like Kanye, right? At my head. Great. But yo, I heard they call him Big Yusufa. Big Yusi on the hood. That's what I heard, allegedly. But look. So 2020, the defendant, October 7, 2020, defendant was convicted of a robbery and sentenced to 6 years imprisonment. This arrest also featured a high-speed chase and a barricade incident that the defendant glamorized in his music. Nuts. Look at my man Bricc Baby. Oh Lord, Bricc. Bricc not the trick, bro. I'm taking a screenshot. Bricc not the trick. Yo, look at Bricc not the trick. Check your boy Bricc not the trick. Not Bricc not the trick. Not after the hot. Why you? First of all, you know Bricc ain't about yo Bricc. First of all, yo bro, I've been in the street my whole life, man. God bless. I'm changing. I'm still trying to change, man. Any other day I might jump back out the window, one of y'all niggas. But I'm just saying. But yo, your man Bricc on a high speed one. He doing a dash. He doing a dash, homie. Why that man got on neon hoodie and some bright ass red pants, bro? If you did boogie out the car, how you getting away, bro? They don't need a helicopter to find this nigga, bro. This nigga got on. Bruh, he got on the shit that the people wear when they crossing roads and all that. The MT of the New York, you know what I mean? The work for the government shit, the construction vest. That's what he got on right now. If you got British Got Talent, you remember the guy that won. He had the vest on. In England, the English British Got Talent. Right? Bro, it's crazy, bro. How you getting away, bro? You can't be wearing these types of colors on a normal day when you just know you live certain lifestyles, bro. Leave these bright ass colors alone. You got to wear neutral colors, nigga. Blend in colors. You know any day could be one of them ones. Every day a real nigga wake up like, damn, God, I'm still here. And you know one of them ones, you be like, damn, God, I had to. Every day a real nigga go through that. Every day, damn, I'm still here. And then you go through like, hopefully I ain't got to. Come on, bro. You know that if you're a real one, son. Don't be stupid. You know it's the truth. Look, it's crazy. And he posted on his channel. They show that he posts this and glorifies it on his channel, bro. Misdemeanors, arrest, and other conduct. As a juvenile, defendant was charged with carrying a concealed weapon, robbery, and misdemeanor in possession of a weapon. He has further arrests for narcotic sales, many failures to appear in multiple states, obstruction, multiple felony in possession charges, false statements, flight. He bouncing on his shit, warrants, all type of stuff, assault with a deadly weapon, multiple fugitive from justice warrants, nuts, inflicting corporal injury on a spouse, criminal threats, and multiple robberies. Defendant also has misdemeanor convictions and an infraction involving arrest for taking a vehicle without consent during a suspended license and domestic violence incident. Defendant frauds crimes. Defendant crimes do not pertain only to violence and weapon possession. Defendant is currently under investigation for fraudulently applying for FEMA benefits by claiming to be a re-enter a property in Pasadena, California, destroyed in Eaton fire in January 2020. Moreover, in the digital devices seized during his previous arrest, defendant was in possession of multiple social security numbers, addresses, and other personal identifying information that he had bought on WhatsApp. Oh my God. Defendant, they proving it on you right there. Damn. Defendant even had a photograph of a driver's license with his photograph, but a different name on it and a different address and state. Defendant was detained based on the risk of flight and danger. So on March 19, 2025, this is the point why he's detained. The court ordered defendant detained pending the trial based on the risk of non-appearance and the danger to their community, bro. So see, come on, man. If he out, let me know, because the shit was at 9 o'clock. So we should know he's out. Yo, bro, with all of this, they're not. They're not. This court found detention to be appropriate. They found it to be appropriate based on one, the defendant's history and characteristic. That's all they blaming it on, including his criminal record of fugitive arrest and violating parole and probation condition, as well as insufficient bail resources, which he's saying this is the reason why he's going for trying to get the bail, because he has more bail resources now, right? But this all above this is still jamming him up though, regardless of the fact. Defendant's safety risk is due to the nature of the seriousness of the instant charges and the criminal history, which includes numerous convictions, some of which were violent. Argument: legal standards for pretrial detention. Defendant must be detained pending trial where no condition or combination of conditions will reasonably assure the appearance of the persons as required and safety of any other persons of the community. As in 18. Detention is thus appropriate for the defendant who is either a danger to the community or a flight. United States versus, then they go into the purpose of this case right here, where this person need to be. The Bail Reform Act mandates that individualized evaluation guided by the factors articulated in 3142G, United States versus Diaz-Hernandez, another case which they state, in the nature of the circumstances of the offense charged, including whether the offense is a crime of violence, the weight of the evidence against the defendant, defendant's character, physical and mental conditions, family and community ties, past conduct, history relating to drug or alcohol abuse, criminal history, and the nature of the seriousness of the danger to any person or to the community that would be posed by the defendant's release. So now, besides the community, right? Listen to me, y'all. This is how to get you. Because they've already established so many things. So besides the community, one person that's unsafe is going to be his girl. They're going to use it like that. Look, bro, when he get back around his girl and his kid, what is he going to do? He's going to probably be arguing with her, beefing with her, probably put hands and feet on her. That's what they're going to say. He's already known to have a weapon around his kid and his girl, and he pointing weapons at his kid and his girl. So where's he going to go? But when you get bail, it's a place you got to go. 9 times out of 10, he live with his shorty. Where does he live with? He could go to his mom's crib, though, and all that other stuff, too, though. You got moms and stuff like that. So not to say that he don't have other locations, because most likely he does. But they are going to use all these things to say, listen, he's going to get back in contact with his girl. And then, listen, bro, last time they had an altercation just now a little while ago. Bro, they use all these things in your past history to jam you up. Look, so let's just finish it out, right? So they go into the next case. Boom. So they go into Windsor's case. Consideration for non-statutory factors is disfavored. Okay. So they show that in the citation was omitted, right? So they go into that and they show you the different cases. So why the defendant should remain detained, like these other cases happen, and how come they didn't need to get a bail, no matter what the bail reform or nothing. And some of these other cases that they said, that's why they mentioned the bail reform up there with the other case, because the other person was probably detained for a very long time trying to get out of prison. You know what I'm saying? This is why they're trying to push it. nature and circumstances of the offenses. The nature and circumstances of the defendant offenses unequivocally weigh in favor of the detention. Defendant's offenses possessing multiple magnetos on multiple occasions and over 125 rounds. Y'all drop a like if y'all with me. Come on. Everybody drop a like right now if you're here. I'm just getting to the paperwork. I'm just trying to read it straight. It's just that I'm triggered so much times as I read it and say, damn, brother, y'all still online. And it's just crazy how they got him in this situation right here. They just got him like admitting, and they're just going to show your history. They're going to show the jury the videos and how you threatening people. And it's just nasty work when you proving all this stuff and it's just nasty work. It's different when the jury can see it. It's like a video. It's a podcast, bro. It's different than sound. Sound is bad if they have you on audio. If they have you on visual with audio, it's not good for you, brother and sisters. It's not good. And some of which he fired are serious. And that defendants fired at would-be robbers in a business parking lot, and less than a year later was found with the firearms after purportedly pointing them at his partner and child, only to confirm that the defendant should not be possessing magnetos in the first place. Why are you pointing them at him? Not to mention his multiple prior felony convictions, each of which alone prohibit him from possessing them. His continued possession of another firearm and even more ammunition at the home of his child during his latest arrest only further corroborates the need for his detention. Look at what I'm saying, bro. I didn't even have to get down there to say it, bro. I didn't have to go there to say it. Bro, where you going? They're going to say, look, bro, even if you're going to say, nah, I'm not staying by my shorty and my kid. I'm not even going over there. They still going to say, 9 times out of 10, let's go as his history. You was there before. Every time you ever came out, you was with your girl. You was with your girl. Now they go through your history. Argument. Police call. Did that. Show their history. They'll go through the domestic history. They'll go through all your histories to show you who you are, bro, or who you been. You might have changed your life, who you is now. They'll show you who you been, bro. Like, nah, bro. This who you been? Nah, bro. Because they judge them about who you been. It's on the paper of who you been. Ain't about who you think you is today. They don't care about if you change your life and you found God. Nah, nigga, you're going to find this time. That's what they care about. Moreover, the defendant faces a statutory maximum of 15 years for each count, Lord Christ, as currently charged due to the defendant extensive criminal history, likely rendering him a criminal history category 5, and with enhancements for the type and number of magnetos and obstruction of justice, defendant faces likely guideline ranges of 92 to 115 months imprisonment based on a total offense level of 24. It's a high level. You know what I mean? It's a high level. Below the guidelines calculation based on that information currently known, base offense levels is 20. So he's at a 24. So he's over a base offense level. You got the 3 and plus the 3 firearms plus 2. And then the obstruction is the plus 2. So now he got that. Boom. So the severity of the potential penalties augments defendant's risk of non-appearance. See United States versus this person right here, right? Brenneman. Affirming denial of bail based on risk of non-appearance, where defendant facing fraud charges that exposed him to a range of just 57 to 71 months of imprisonment, saying this guy had less time than this guy was getting, and he was absconding. He wasn't even coming. He was acting like he wasn't trying to face this. And this was just a fraud charge, and it was just 57 to 71 months, and he's facing more than that. So this is, as the court has recognized, such a lengthy sentence provides, you know what I mean? So they said, as stated and discussed on the intercepted call, placing his magneto in a bag and dropping them into the courtyard of his apartment, which he then attempted to do when the law enforcement arrived. Obstruction of justice enhancements was warranted in sentencing the defendant for knowing possession of the firearm as the convicted. So that's it right there. And he asked his wife to hide or get rid of the weapon once found. Oh, so look, that's how you obstructed the justice right there, because he asked Shorty to get rid of some shit. So boom, then jammed in. She could have got back for that. Real shit. Significant incentive to flee, and given the defendant's criminal history category, he is facing guideline sentence of nearly 10 years. Explaining that facing the much graver penalties possible under the present indictment, the defendants have an eager greater incentive to consider flight, and noting that electronic monitoring cannot assure prevention of non-appearance. And they go into another case where there's people acting like they ran or whatever the case may be. know what I'm saying? He faces a substantial risk of being convicted of serious pending charges and receiving significant punishment. Defendant's previous evading and flight from law enforcement, as well as his repeated fugitive arrests, failures to appear, and parole violation confirms the same. In sum, the nature of the circumstances of the defendant's offenses demonstrate that he is a risk of both danger and non-appearance. Weight of the evidence. Now, the evidence that the defendant committed the charged offenses is overwhelming and cannot be ignored in assessing the defendant's risk of danger and non-appearance in this case. Going to another case. Strength of the government's case. We find that the government has met its burden of showing by clear and convincing evidence that no condition or combination of conditions will reasonably assure the safety of the community. Emphasis added. Defendant was captured on audio recording discussing magnetos and other crimes for months. When his home was searched, those magnetos were recovered. Defendant was previously captured on surveillance footage where shell casings were later recovered at the defendant's location. In the video showing that he fired them, evidence of the defendant's continued possessions of magnetos is likewise powerful, including the night of before his arrest on a podcast video and as found in his home during his arrest. So they saw him on the podcast, ran down, said, let's go get the weapon now. Crazy. Because he'd been on investigation. They said, let's go get the weapon now. Saw him on the podcast after Adam 22 ran down, got him. All the evidence in this case conclusively shows defendant's continued possession of magnetos and use of those prohibited magnetos. They go into another case. Planned violent crime signal a degree of dangerousness unlikely to be deterred by bail or release conditions. Accordingly to the weight of the evidence, which this court shall consider under 18, favors the defendant's continued detention. So he's saying that you're just supposed to be in there, bro. You know what I mean? Boom. This is just subtitle. Breaking down of the cases that they're citing and everything like that. The history and characteristics of the defendant. Defendant history and characteristics also favor detention. Indeed, defendant's involvement in multiple violent offenses render him particularly dangerous to the community. They go to another case. The evidence of his violence and threats of violence is all exacerbated by defendants' apparent continued access to magnetos as detailed above. The recordings of the defendant discussing uncharged conduct detailed above cast his already damning criminal history in an even more troubling light. Defendant's many convictions, along with his recent involvement in magneto offenses, further established the danger that he poses to the community if released. Additionally, defendant's headlong flight from law enforcement. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Look. I don't want to do it. Look. It's crazy. Look. Violations. Release a headlong flight from law enforcement on multiple occasions and countless supervision violations only reinforces his dangerousness and his incompatibility with the pre-trial release, as does his attempt to rid himself of the magnetos when the law enforcement searched his location. After commission supports inference and consciousness of guilt. For all those reasons, defendant's history and characteristics support his continued detention, nature, and seriousness of the danger posed by the defendant's release. The defendant's release would pose a serious danger to his own family. See what I mean? This is what they're gonna push. I already know how these people play, bro. I already know how these people play, bro. I already know how they play, bro. Come on, bro. Even if you're in the streets doing shit, if you know what I mean, with the family and all that stuff, bro, you helping the community, stuff like that is good for your background. If you're doing stuff, charitable stuff, boom, boom, boom. So yeah, you might be tied, because remember, everything is alleged. You're alleged to be doing stuff, alleged to be caught up in this conspiracy, alleged. You know what I mean? But their past history is what confirms a lot of stuff that they use against you, bro. They'll use it against you, bro. Word, son. You and your shorty could have gotten to something. She was stalking you, and then she was bothering you, and you like, yo, get out of here. You was done with her. You broke up with her and everything. And then next thing you know, she went and said you was stalking her. They were, even though it's thrown out and all that, because they came to find out that she did it. So they'll come back to bring that back to say, look, he also has a stalking situation that he had going on with his girlfriend. Bro, they bring all that back. They're not forgetting about that. Uncle Sam, don't forget. Trust me. Nigga like this, I want my money. Uncle Sam, don't forget. Look, law enforcement risks exposing its investigation into a deadly criminal enterprise by executing the search warrants. You know what I mean? They almost blew it up at the defendant's home. They're just trying to thirstily run, go grab the straps. All to protect the defendant's partner and child from the defendant hurting them. See what I'm saying? This is why they ran down, because they was overhearing everything that's going on. He on wiretaps. They're like, listen, man, let's just go grab him now, because he over there threatening Magnet. He's going to clip her. He waving straps at the kids or whatever. Let's just go grab him now. And we're going to get the straps too. Nasty. Despite law enforcement seizing multiple weapons and ammunition from his home, which unquestionably should have been a turning point for the defendant, he should have just chilled. Defendant had another unsecured magneto and many more rounds of ammunition in reach of his child when he was arrested in March of 2025. Again, when he got more strap charges, when he just got bagged. Defendant matched, oh God, and it's in reach of his child. A defendant, risk of danger to his family cannot be ignored. Additionally, defendant is not only a risk of danger to the community at large, as he has acted on his dangerousness time and time again. Perhaps most concerning is the defendant continued criminal conduct after being caught with the magnetos, including illegally possessing another magneto, which weighs strongly in the favor of a continued detention. Defendant proposed property bond is insufficient now. So he's saying that he has some property bond. They're saying that's insufficient. While the defendant's support from family shown by his mother's willingness to serve as a surety and put up a property bond on his behalf is admirable, there is no condition or combination of conditions to warrant his release pending trial. Even the proposed secured property bond would not mitigate the defendant's danger to the community in light of the severity of his charged offenses and his seriousness of lengthy criminal history. And they go into another case. Even if the defendant agreed to the condition, those limitations, including electronic monitoring, would all suffer from the critical flaw in that they depend on the defendant's good faith compliance in order to be effective. And they're saying that he's not. And going to another case, they cite it. Particularly, electronic monitoring does not prevent a defendant from committing crimes within the monitoring radius, including his home, where he has been caught with unsecured firearms and ammunition more than once. And there is no reasonable way to assure that the defendant would not make impermissible stops or detours on his way to places permitted under the restrictions. They go into that. Reversing release order, finding that the restrictions on communications with any persons not approved by counsel, monitoring of phone through pen registers, 24-hour house arrest, and other conditions have had an Achilles heel because virtually all of them hinge on the defendant's good faith compliance. Given the defendant's repeated commissions of crime over the course of this investigation, as well as the litany of criminal convictions, warrants violations, and continued criminal activity while on probation or parole, this court should be wary of the defendant's ability to obey his proposed restrictions. The defendant has already admitted in engaging activity on release. The court is not persuaded she would be able to avoid such behavior if released again. Okay, because the defendant personal commitment to abide by the release conditions is the key factor for determining his fitness for bail. His serial and flagrant criminality counsels against bail in this case. Conclusion: this court should therefore order the defendant's continued detention pending trial. Crazy. Salute to everybody that rocked with us. We got it off in like an hour. That's not bad. Man, I was talking too because I was just triggered. If I didn't, I'd have probably got it off in like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. That'd have been good though. Salute to everybody. I hope y'all drop likes, man. I hope y'all drop likes. I hope y'all hit the polls. I wasn't telling y'all too much. That's why I tell y'all to drop likes when I'm doing reads, and I'm doing a lot of reads. That's what I do a lot of. I do more reads than just speculating about cases. I go to cases and I read about them. I just don't call people rats here. You go to my CUFFY case, Big Meech cases, Timothy Rush, Andre Rush, his co-defendant that ratted, all of that. You know what I'm saying? You could go through all of that. So I'm just really about getting to the paperwork, and I don't want to reach out 2 papers and 3 papers because I could have read a couple of those papers and came back to you, right? But you don't get the information that way. So even if it take a little bit more of my time, even if everybody don't watch the video and they don't get that much views, the people that do watch it get the information. Y'all all just seen and read that whole thing with me. So regardless, I didn't have to give you 3 pages of it, 3 pages of that. That's why I read like the whole CUFFY GATLING. I read like the whole pages. The last video that you go back and see, it's like 2 videos back. You'll see CUFFY GATLING's on the thumbnail too as well. I read his whole waiver of indictment plea because people are saying that he's snitching and this and this and that. So let's go into it and see what the hell happened, right? So if you want to, and I put it on a Big U, it's a Big U type video with CUFFY GATLING. You know what I'm saying? And it says RICO'd because all of them were hit with a RICO. Loose Cannon, Big U, and CUFFY GATLING. And we're trying to compare and contrast because CUFFY GATLING is caught up in a case like this. Not to say it's particularly like this because he caught up in all kinds of drugs and other stuff, right? But this case is still using Title III warrants. They have the snitch, the this, the that. You know what I mean? He got trial, boom, bang, had to plea out, had a plea hearing. Some of these people going to go to pleas. Some of these people ain't going to fight this shit. Tell me, Big U might take a plea. Big U might take a plea deal. Anybody in this case might take a plea deal, bro. What are you talking about, bro? Do you see what Bricc is facing right here? Maximums and all the 15s and all that for each. Come on, bro. What are you talking about? Let's be real. That's why you don't dance. That dance with the shout out to everybody that's been in them feds and took that dance. Whether you won, it was successful or not, man. It takes a lot to go and take that dance. That's the real dance, not just the court. With the feds and them people, US versus you, for real? Yeah. Shout out to y'all, man. Even if you think you was unsuccessful, man, you had to fight, man, and you went up and you fought that shit, bro. You know what I mean? It takes a lot. That takes a lot of heart to go up and fight a case like this, bro. To fight them people, bro. The biggest gang in the world right now, bro. All against you, son. See, I mean, that's the realest thing in the world, man. I swear to God, man. I swear to God, man. Salute to everybody. I need everybody to make sure they doing what, man? Drop your like.
All my niggas from the OOTA. All my niggas turn shooters. OOTA. All my ops turn racks. All my niggas turn shooters. On the internet, you ain't been this right. You been stuck in a computer. Show me.
Facts. Make sure y'all dropping likes. Make sure y'all subscribing to the channel. Make sure you turn on the notification bells and make sure you're notified, man. You know, it's a lot that's going on. It's a lot that's going on. Especially go and check the CUFFY reads. All my CUFFY reads, especially the vocals like this, where you talk about what CUFFY's talking about. Big Meat sent the Mexican at him and all type of stuff like this, And
so I'm moving around. But before that, the nigga Meat sent another Mexican at me that was a government informant, confidential source. I didn't know that the nigga was bad, but when I meet him, he rubbed me the wrong way. You feel me?
Right.
And so I bag up both of them. But come 2018, when we get the discovery, I find out that he was an agent, and that a confidential source had introduced us to. Who introduced me to him? Nobody, nothing other than Big Meat.
You know what I mean? So we got different kinds of stuff, man. That's CUFFY himself, his audio, different stuff. Like I say, it's not about me calling Meat a rat or CUFFY a rat. You know what I mean? We can get to the paperwork. We're just going to figure out, let the paperwork speak for itself. Point blank, period. Yeah, some stuff looks shaky here, looks shaky there, but we still got to get to the paperwork. And Tammy has not spoken yet, and Meat hasn't spoken yet. So I'm going to save my ducks for those 2 people to speak too, because they're very beneficial. Tammy is the one who's intricate to the whole case, and Big Meat is Big Meat. So if he could say anything in time after he get off papers, you never know. Probably he could. You never know. We might hear what Meat say. And we might say, well, I don't know. Meat's kind of saying something real or not. You know what I'm saying? So we just need to just wait and just not just be calling everybody a rat all the time. Because if somebody was calling you a rat, you wouldn't like it. You really wouldn't like it. And that could be messing up your livelihood. People could be running around wanting to clip you, and people's allegedly calling you a rat, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying don't judge people and call who you want to call a rat. Use your own instinct, because if you smell cheese and you think somebody a rat, believe your own thoughts. That's why I never tell nobody what to believe. But for me, I just get through the paperwork and not lean so much on my opinion, because I'm a person on a platform. And I just don't want to lean on my opinion, which would sway your opinion. You know what I mean? I just give you the paperwork and just make y'all think about it. Simple. So salute to everybody. You know how we doing it. I need everybody to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you got the notification bells on go. Make sure you subscribe and got the subscribes on go. And my name is OOTA. I'm on go, and we all on go together. You on go, right? You're not playing with nobody. You're going to turn up on somebody else if they play with you, right? Good. I'm on the same type bop. I'm bugged out when I'm ready. Good. So therefore, we need to get on go together. It's not about us being individuals. I did that my whole life. You've done it too. When we put our minds together, we're going to win. Y'all hit me on Instagram, OOTA on Go, if y'all need my help in any way. You know what I mean? I try to help everybody to monetize in any way I can. This is what we all about. Shout out to everybody that's subscribing to my channels. That's on the bottom of the screen right there. As you can see, man, OOTA on Go on Instagram. And shout out to everybody that's hitting the Cash App too as well. I appreciate y'all asking up in here. But, you know, some of y'all just show love, so I appreciate that. So salute to all of that. Salute to all of y'all. And make sure y'all subscribing and make sure y'all checking these reads out. And share this video. Share these reads, man. Okay, make sure y'all sharing. I can help y'all to monitor. I can help y'all to do things. But make sure y'all helping me by liking, sharing, subscribing. That's all I ask for. I don't ask for money. So that's the least you could do. And I'm going to help you. That actually is going to be able to help you. Ask anybody else help. They want to keep me a secret. They don't want to let you know that I'm helping them. Don't worry about it. Maybe I'll stop helping them and just start helping you only.
All my niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn rats. All my niggas from the OOTA. All my niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn rats. All my niggas turn shooters. On the internet, you ain't been a threat. You been stuck in a computer. Show me the proof. All my niggas turn shooters. All my niggas from the OOTA. Welcome to the OOTA. All my niggas from the OOTA. All my niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn rats. All my niggas turn shooters. On the internet, you ain't been a threat. You been stuck in a computer. Show me the proof. All my niggas turn shooters. All my niggas from the OOTA. Welcome to the OOTA. All of my niggas insane. They tryna catch a mistake. Young niggas putting in pain. It in the game, all for the game. Niggas ain't playing for nothing. Went in school, laying it bang. My little nigga kill my little nigga. Full-time job not to kill niggas. Jump off the porch of the field, nigga. You was in the house, I'm a field nigga. No fuck boys around real niggas. Been a drug dealer since a little nigga, huh? Taking a kilo, they'll kill a nigga. Fuck how you feel, nigga. To get some kilos, I'll kill a nigga too. Throw that rock like I'm Montana. Good head, raise my antennas. G49, not San Fran. Beat the box with my bandana. Then I dip set like I'm Santana. I'm in UK like that Montana. She bring me money, you press her. You got a jug of Vanessa. I give a dick that'll change your life. You leave her change on the dresser. Shorty, a wetty, a wetty. That pussy ready, get ready. Don't wanna get ahead of myself, but I want the head for the Getty. She said she fuck with the OOTA. I tell her open the Chevy.